In this lesson, we are going to review a news article who is taken by the news so you can improve your all areas of English. So welcome back to Smile English Learn. Of course, I am Zeeshan and so get let's started. First, I will read the headlines. The Remembering APS. Remembering APS. APS is stand for Army Public Schools. The seven Taliban's militants entered the schools, began firing openly and killing 151 people and including 134 children. That APS was widely condemned both domestically and internationally. It was considered one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in Pakistani history, and it led to significant shift in the country counter-terrorism places. So I get let's start remembering APS. ABS. Remembering is that important synonym is that recalling, reminiscing, reflecting, counter commemorating, honoring, celebrating, recounting, revisiting, reliving, and musing. Commemorating is the city is commemorating the anniversary of its founding. Remembering APS. It was a day of infamy, unfortunately one of many in this country's turbulent history. On this day in 2014, the brutal natures of the militant threats in Pakistan painfully manifested itself. Terrorist attack the Army Public School Peshawar, massacring nearly 115 students and teachers. While terrorists had shed innocent blood in previous incident, as well as APS was the breaking point when its shell shocked nations demanded answer from those who rule this land. The cancer of terrorism was first during that country, and unless the state took action, it threatened to spread across Pakistan. Pledges were made particularly to crush the TTP which was responsible for the atrocity. The other terrorist gangs where the National Action Plan was hammered out to cleanse the country of armed militancy and extremism. 10 years later, where do we stand? Though NAP was updated in 2021, Pakistan is still far from being free of terrorism and violent extremism. While militant attacks on civilian targets have come down, the TTP as well as other violent actors outfits that have weaponized the sensitive issues of blasphemy to forward their dark agendas. Unless these groups are decommissioned, the battle be impossible. The heirs of the APS miters have time and again demanded that the state fully implement NAP. Indeed, this is the only way to end the menace of militancy and reverse the process of radicalizations. Countering terrorism may take a generation or two. The seeds planted during the Zia dictatorship have totally turned into tall trees bearing bitter fruits. Yet, the state must fully commit itself to these efforts if Pakistan is to be rid of terrorism and fanaticism. Sadly, the state appears more unarmored of in love with silencing and political oppositions. Counterterrorism does not appear high on its list of priorities. This Attitude must change if we are serious about ensuring that the events of the dark day are never repeated. So, we will discuss the important words and synonyms. Infamy, unfortunately, turbulent, brutal, painfully manifested, massacring. Innocent blood, breaking point, shell shocked, devourings threatened to spread across pledges, atrocity, hammered out, cleanse, extremism, updated, far from being calmed down. That staged resurgence swept into target by poses poses to evict elements, fanatical elements, ideological fuels includes that outfits weaponized blasphemy to forward decommissioned heirs, mitres, that means of reverse radicalizations, all trees bearing bitter fruits yet commit to be roid of terrorism, fanaticism, enamored of that important words and synonyms, ensuring events of infamy, ill fame, notoriety, disrepute. Unfortunately, is that regrettably, sadly, unhappily, alas, disappointingly. Turbulent is that chaotic, unstable, volatile, stormy, tempestuous, tumultuous, oratorous, and unpredictable. Erratic and wild. Brutal is that important synonym savages, cruel, merciless, ruthless, ferocious, fierce, intense, harsh, severe, and barbaric. Painfully. Painfully is that excruciatingly, agonizingly, tortuously, distressingly, uncomfortably, discomfortingly, irritatingly, hurtfully, surely, achingly. Manifested. Manifested appeared, emerged, materialized, came into being, took shape, became apparent, became visible, surfaced, arised, developed. Mass occurring is that slaughtering, butcherings, killings, murderings, slayings, annihilatings, decimatings, devastatings, exterminating, and carnagings. Shed. Shed is that important meaning is that heart, cabins, shakes, burn, garage, outbuildings, lean to annex, extension, hotment. Innocent. Innocent is that important meaning is that guiltless, blameless, pure, clean, spotless, unblemished, virtuous, chaste, naive, unsuspecting. Blood. Blood is that important word. Plasma, hemoglobins, gore, fluids, lifeblood, vital fluid, crimson, scarlet, ruby, and sequins. Breaking point is that important meaning is that boiling point, threshold, limit, tipping point. Important word is that warned, meant, intimidated, caused, blackmailed, terrorized, endangered, imperiled, jeopardized, vowed. Is spread across. Spread across is that important meaning is that extended, stretched, spanned, covered, encompassed, embraced, reached, expanded, widened, dispersed. Pledges. Pledges is that important word promises, vows, commitments, oaths, guarantees, assurance, that insurance. Insurance. Important meaning is that insurance. that undertaking, obligations, bonds, and covenants. Atrocity. Atrocity is that important word a brutality, cruelty, inhumanity, barbarity, savagery, horror, abominations, monstrosity, heinousness, viciousness. That hammered out is that forged, shaped, molded, crafted, fashioned, pounded, beaten, shaped up, worked out, negotiated. Cleanse. Cleanse is that purify, clean, wash, rinse. Sanitize, disinfect, discontaminate, detoxify, and refine, purge. Extremism is that radicalizations, fanatism, zealotry, militancy, fundamentalism, dogmatism, intolerance, bigotry, chauvinism, jagoisms. Updated. Updated is that revised, renewed, refreshed, modernized, improved, enhanced, modified, amendment, corrected, refreshed. Come down is important word is that descendant, fall, drop, sink, plummet, disamount, disembark, alight, get down, step down. Far from being. Far from being is that anything but. Far cry from, worlds apart from, a long way, nowhere near, not remotely, not even close, a far cry from, completely unlike, totally different from. That staked important synonyms of planned or orchestrated, choreographed, rehearsed, scripted, directed, produced. That managed, coordinated, engineered. Important word is that resurgence is the revival, rebirth, renewals, revivalism, resurgence, comeback, reappearance, reemergence, revitalizations, restorations. Sweat into is important word is that drawn into, pulled into, dragged into, shugged into, caught up in, ensured, entangled, embroidered in, involved in, engulfed, targeted by. Targeted by is important word is that attacked by, hit by, affected by, impacted by, influenced by, aimed at, directed at, focused on, signaled out by, victimized by. Poses is that presents, creates, offer, displays, exhibits, shows, depicts, portrays, represents, assumes. Poised to is important, ready to, prepare to, set to, on the verge of, or the brink of, about to. All the set on, position to, preempt to, gearing up to. Evict is important, expel, oust, remove, eject, dispossesses, displace, exile, banish, throw out, force out. Fanatical element is important word is that extremist group, radical factors, militant organization, fundamentalist sects, zealot groups, and hardlines elements, ultra conservative groups, reactionary forces. Reactionary forces. That dogmatic groups, ideological extremists. That ideological fuels, intellectual illuminations, philosophical foundation, doctrinal motivation, political inspirations, moral justification, ethical, national, rational, conceptual framework, theoretical underpinnings, ideational driving force, cognitive catalyst. Include is that important word is that compromises, encompasses, incorporates, contains, contains, that embodies, covers, spans, takes in, consists of, compromises of. Outfits. Outfits is that important meaning is that clothing, attire, garments, apparel, wardrobe, ensemble, costumes, dress, uniform, gear. Weaponized is that militarized, armed, modified, enhanced, augmented, strengthened, empowered, equipped, modified, adopted. Blasphemy too. Blasphemy is that important meaning is that sacrilege, harshy, profanity, dis, desecrations, impurity to, reverence to, apostasy to, treason to, offense to, anathema to. Anathema to. Forward is that head, onward, progress, advance, proceed, move, send, transmit, dispatch, convey. Discommissioned. Discommission is that retired, inactivated, discontinued, abandoned, scrapped, that dismantled, disabled, shut down, seized, defunct. That here's important synonym is that important words inheritors, beneficiaries, successors, descendants, offsprings, progeny, seasons, legatees, devices, benefactors. Miters. Miter is that important word stains, heroes, victim, suffers, casualties, fallen, sacrifice, patriots, champions, and confessor. Men's of is important word is that men's threat of, danger of, hazard of, risk of, peril of, scourge of, bench of, plug of, afflictions of, calamity of. Reverse. Reverse is important word that invert, trunk back, turn back, change directions, alter, modify, countermand, annuals, cancel, overturns, upend. Radicalizations is important word is that extremism, militarizations, indoctrinations, brainwashing, polarizations, fanatisms, zealotry, activism, revolutionizations, and ideologizations. All trees bearing bitter fruit. Negative consequences of great power or status. Tall trees represent individuals or organizations that have grown powerful, influential, or wealthy. The bitter fruit is that symbolize the negative consequences, corruptions of harm that can result from their actions or abuses of power. Yet, I am tired, yet I still need to finish this project. Commit, promise, pledge, vows, dictate, devote, engage, bind, obligate, contract, and agree. To be rid of. I want to be rid of this old car. She wants to be rid of her successful, stressful job. We need to be rid of this unwanted time. Fanatism. Fanatism is that extremism, zealotry, fundamentalism, radicalizations, militancy, bigotry, dogmatism, intolerance, obsessions, mania. Appears is that important word seems, looks, shows, emerge, manifest, presents, displays, exhibits, reveals, come into views. Enormal too, infatuated with, smitten with, captivated by, enhanced, enchanted with, charmed by, bestreated with, that obsessed with, entranced with, fascinated with, in love with. Ensuring is that grunting, securing, safeguarding, protecting, assuming, certifying, validating, verifying, and confirming and making certain events of. is the important word is that happenings of occurrence of incidents of episodes circumstances of experience of developments of proceedings of transitions of affairs of. So please subscribe this channel and share, and I hope that this video is very important for you, and please subscribe this channel. Thank you very much.